Hey guys, well it's hard to tell with all the snow on the ground, but spring is just around the corner and we actually have a little more snow coming, but it's really close to the end. It's quite warm out today, everything's melting, so I think in a couple of more weeks it's going to be nice enough to get the 370 out. So we can see it just tucked in back there under its cover. So I'm just going to open that up in a bit because I've got a new toy for it. You look here, I ordered one of these Tesla style touchscreens, and I ordered this from SquareWheels Auto. You can see their logo right there. So before I open this up, I just want to say a big thanks to Rob at SquareWheels Auto, who is an absolute pleasure to deal with. Excellent customer service, super fast to respond, so I think I'll definitely be working with him in the future. So let's get this box opened up and see what this thing looks like. Okay, let's open this up and see what's inside. So we've got our user manual, warranty card, another installation manual it looks like, SIM card adapters, foam cover, this would be the screen itself, and I actually opted for the carbon fiber. I was a little nervous ordering carbon fiber because usually the fake stuff is hit or miss, but this actually looks pretty good. Quite happy with that. So there's a screen plastic protector on here that I'll just peel off once it's installed. You can see the power buttons here and all the controls. Everything feels pretty good. They don't feel as cheap as you would think. And on the back here, you can see all the connections and ports, multiple antenna connections. And we've got a big bag of cables here and another one, some sort of box here. Not sure what any of this stuff is yet. Put that out of the way. So yeah, some sort of connectors here. I'll figure that out once I go through the manual. Looks like we have some sort of antenna here. Another antenna. This one says GPS, so GPS antenna. Another antenna. And a microphone. And an assortment of wires. And SIM module for cell phones. So a lot of wires here. Oh, backup cameras. Yeah, definitely a lot of wires. I'm gonna have to go through that manual to find out where all these go. Okay, so as you can see, there's an awful lot of stuff in this kit. Definitely everything we need. All right, let's get the 370 unwrapped here and get started. Okay, so here we are in the 370, and I love this car, but there was one thing that was a bit of a pet peeve, and it was that this stereo system was sort of stuck in the late 2000s, even early 2000s, with like this orange background. So you can see here it's orange LCD. I found that just didn't match the styling of the outside of the car. So when I saw that they had a full touchscreen for here, I had to jump on that. So I'm gonna have to start taking apart this whole dash, remove this cover. I'm gonna have to remove this. There's step-by-step instructions inside of the box, so I'm gonna go back and forth between those and the video and make sure I do this right. But before I start, I'm going to disconnect the battery so that there's no chance of me screwing anything up while I'm working inside of there. So before I move on to installing this stereo, I'm going to just go take a look at the wires here and figure out just which ones I need for this car. And I'll plug in whatever I can to the back of the head unit before I even get into the car, so there'll be less to fumble with later. So as you can see here, there's a Type 1 and Type 2 dashboard. So Type 1 is with the pocket like I had. Type 2 is with navigation. So I'm only going to use certain plugs off of this. On the Type 2, there was a lot more plugs to use. So I'm just going to pull out the ones that I'm not going to use, put them aside, and I'm going to plug in what I need right now. Alright, so I had to take a little break and look up what some of these connectors were for. So this one is for the Type 2, so if you have navigation, so you can connect to your factory reverse camera, which I don't have. And you can choose whichever connector you need. We've got subwoofer and other camera connectors, which I'm not going to use. I'm not going to put in the other two antennas for the 4G because I don't plan on using it to make phone calls or have internet connected anyway. So I'm not going to need the SIM cable because it's not going to have its own internet. Apparently these connectors are for different models and different years that had different speaker configurations or something. So I've got a 2009 Canadian model made in Japan. So I'm not sure if I need any of these, but I'm going to see if it connects right without it. We have this little purple box here, which I guess is some sort of ground loop isolator. And I used to hear a noise through the speakers, through the factory stereo, so hopefully that's what this will negate. I connected the microphone back here. I guess there's an internal microphone, but I'm going to keep this guy here and put it somewhere hidden, so maybe I'll get better sound just in case. I connected the USB, so this is the factory USB connector, which I believe I have. We'll see if I do or I don't. If not, I'll just snake these through so I can access them somewhere. But we're going to connect that, and then it just leaves me the GPS. So I believe I can connect through my phone and use the phone GPS. I will connect this guy and put the antenna up anyway, just in case I want to use just the head unit's GPS. But I'm not going to plug that in yet. I would like to stick it to the windshield, snake it back through the A-pillar, and get that into the dash before I actually connect it. So this I'm going to run this through right now before I move the head unit into the car. Alright, so I got that antenna installed. Now I brought the waterfall, they call it, over. So we're going to move the stereo to that. Alright, that looks real good. Now let's go put it in the car. So here we have the antenna wire that I ran through. Just going to run that up here so that I can plug it in the top. And I'm just going to start plugging everything I can in, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I got the bulk of the work done. Got it installed. The only thing I screwed in so far was the ground wire. I screwed it to the frame just on the inside. I had to tug it pretty tight. I probably should have extended that. I don't know where that ground wire is supposed to be connected, but I'm happy with it there for now. I just reconnected the battery. Just before I bolt everything back together, I just want to make sure everything works. Throw it back in park now. I'm just going to turn the power on. We'll see. I'm not sure what that was. Okay, so that's not good. Something's not connected right. Alright, so that little noise there made me do a little more research, and I thought maybe I had one of these plugs that I needed to use, but turns out I don't. There's two white connectors back there that I connected, and even though I read in the little booklet that two of those spots aren't used, I still used one, and I think that just fed power to the speakers, which made all that noise. So now I've reconnected the battery with that plug disconnected. All right, so we're just going to turn the power on, accessory, and I'm just going to close my door. Stop that beeping. I'm going to hit power button. Looks like we have nothing on accessory, so we'll go to on. Okay, so we see everything works. So now I'm going to bolt everything down. Seems like it's working. So let's put this back together. Alright, so got it fully installed now. I've got the battery reconnected for now. Finally going to peel off that protective film. And we're just going to hit the power button. So, an accessory, I'm not sure if it actually works. Let's see if it turns on or not. Okay, so it is turning on. Alright, so it's a little slow to boot up there, but that could have been just because I had the battery disconnected. Maybe it keeps power behind the scenes normally, so we'll see the next time if it's a little quicker to start up. So I've just got it on accessory still, so I'm just going to go through the functions quickly and play around. It's definitely not going to be a tutorial. Alright, so that's installed now, and I really like how well the touchscreen works. It seems to be very responsive. I just really need to spend some time learning the menus, learning where everything is, fine-tuning it for the way I'd like to use it. Obviously I'm a little bit of a tech nerd, so I have to have stuff set a certain way, and I'll spend some time playing with that. You can see there's an awful lot of options for apps, and you can download anything you want. So things like Netflix will be really handy if I'm stuck waiting or something and I want to spend some time off my phone and just watching on the screen here. I'm really happy I went with the carbon fiber. I think that looks great. I really like this control setup. That was one of my favorite things about Tesla, was that they had the nice looking airflow on the screen. So that's something I'm going to be happy with. But again, just going to have to learn how all these controls work. The quality of the screen looks very, very nice. Definitely makes it look a lot more modern. It's also going to be nice having navigation right on the car and not having to balance my phone on my leg and trying to see where I'm going. So it's going to be nice for that. So overall, this wasn't a very difficult install. The instructions were pretty good on how to get the dash disassembled. But beyond that, when it came to attaching all the connections and the plugs and stuff, there could have been a little more information, especially the way I plugged in the plug that I wasn't supposed to. I know it did say that it wasn't required on the back of the head unit, but it didn't show that it wasn't required on the harness. I guess it's not the screen manufacturer's fault that the car manufacturer had a couple of different models and connectors in the back. So I guess they handled it well with the multiple connectors and the options that you could use to connect those. But overall, I think I'm very happy with this. I can't wait to get the car out and start using it. And once I have it for a while, if I get any better at operating, and we'll see if there's other themes and stuff that I can put on there. Now, if you're interested in getting your own touchscreen for your 370 or any other vehicle, you should go to SquareWheelsAuto.com. And if you use the coupon code NHBH, you'll save $50 off your order. They've got a large selection of touchscreens for many different models. And as I mentioned earlier, Rob at SquareWheels Auto offers excellent customer service, and I'm sure you'll be happy with your purchase. Well, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. And I'll see you in the next one.